Hey YouTube, I've got a 2015 Audi 3.0 supercharger here, and I've been fighting the last couple days bank 2 secondary air code, where it's basically saying that the secondary air going into the exhaust manifold that's not reading it's going. I've checked all the pump's good, checked the diverter valve, checked all the vacuum lines, everything's good. I found the problem, and I'm going to show you where it is on this car, and then I'm going to go out to what we have as a core motor here. I'm going to show you the exact problem with a little better diagram and problem. So what we got is I've got the exhaust manifold out. There's 3 little holes that this being bank 2, there's 3 little holes that the secondary is supposed to be able to open the chamber and push on through, and they are plugged full of carbon. So I'm going to go out to a motor and kind of show you, give you a little better look at it and what I've done to, or what I'm doing right now to fix it. So here's the used motor that we've got. This is technically bank 1, but both sides are the exact same thing. So if you look right here inside the valve there's 3 little ports. One of them right there. Let's zoom out here. So I've got 1 port here, 1 port there, and 1 port here. They go into a chamber where there's a freeze plug right here. Some people take these freeze plugs out with the front nose of the car off, and you can kind of clean this out. I've had pretty good success with pulling this diverter valve out right here, and this is all in the car, so you don't have to pull anything out. I've taken a wire hanger and I've kind of pushed up through here, cleaned out that hole, taken the wire hanger, going all the way through and cleaning it out. But what you can't do from here is clean these ports here. So I've actually had to pull the exhaust manifold off, and I've just been working back and forth. I'm taking a screwdriver, but if you look, let's see if we can get you where you can see inside there here. If you look very closely, you can see that my screwdriver is all the way through. You can kind of see that in the video, not the best of light. Let's see if I can't get light down in there. So you can kind of see my screwdriver right there. But what I've done is I've taken a screwdriver, drill bit, whatever you can, and inside the car with the manifold off, I've kind of just been working it back and forth, spraying carb cleaner through here, and until I've broke all the way through to that valve inside there. Once you get to the valve, then you know that hole's clean, and then you're going to be all good. So what happens is, maintenance wise, when you don't change your oil frequently, we like to do every 5,000 miles, even though we're using a tier 5 synthetic. We just know that filters can't last that long, and it helps prevent carbon. So when you don't get people that change their oil, use poor gasoline, don't change their air filters, you get problems like this. BG bearings, basically this is just a lack of maintenance that's caused this on this car. But this is a little bit of a better look into detail of what you got to do to get that code fixed, and that's for secondary air. You can have it on bank 1 or bank 2. Right now I only have bank 2, and I know my air pumps works. I've got vacuum to the diaphragm or the diverter valve back here, so make sure that you can hook vacuum up to it, make sure that works. If that opens and closes and you've got good pressure coming from the secondary air pump, then your cause is going to be that you've got this whole chamber right here plugged up, and these holes are plugged up with carbon. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of a look, and this will happen on all the 3.0 supercharged new Audi and Volkswagen that they run the motors in. So on this Audi here, I've kind of rigged myself up. I've taken an old diverter valve off of a motor I had out back. I cut it up, I epoxied a basically like a fitting inside of it. I was able to put a 1/2-inch hose on that, bolt that up into place, and then what I did is BG makes this air intake valve combustion chamber cleaner that you use to clean carbon off on 2.0s. If you have the machine, you can hook it up, blow it up. I've actually took this, I took that, hooked it up, mounted it all back up where the diverter valve is on the back of the motor, right back here. And I filled that up and I let it sit overnight. And me sitting that overnight, I was able to soften up some of that carbon to make it easier when I was cleaning it with a wire hanger back here. That seemed to help the first initial to clean that chamber that goes from left to right or from forward to back here, but it didn't help with cleaning the holes in each side here, because really you can't get to them with the wire hanger going through the chamber there. So this is great to get the initial chamber cleaned from the diverter valve up front here. Some people there's a freeze plug on both sides that you can undo, but you have to pull the front of the motor off to get to them. I found it